Taylor. Welcome to Taylor Post Gym, also on a rare day where she washed her hair. And this is a very exciting time. You know why? Because we get to eat food. Woohoo! But I've been sharing a lot more recently that something that I've always had the biggest struggle with is getting in enough protein. I don't eat a lot of red meat, I don't like to cook meat, and I just genuinely don't seek it out. So sometimes I notice it's like a very big part of my diet that's lacking. And this is also not the best thing because I'm really trying to prioritize building muscle right now. So I've had to seek out other ways of me just trying to get more protein in my diet. And I figured, you know what, if this is something that I've had to learn along the way, I might as well share some of my tips, my tricks, my favorite snacks, just genuinely some yummy, delicious food that I love to eat. We're kind of skipping past the basics, you know, like the turkey breast, the eggs, although hard-boiled eggs, great option. And we're going maybe what I would like to say the more creative route. However, my big fat disclaimer is that I think above all else, whole food sources are always going to be your best bet to start with. These are for the days when you forgot to defrost that chicken, your refrigerator's running empty, you ran out of your other favorite protein source, you're kind of run dry of ideas. This is very supplementary. It's meant to be fun. These are just some cool recipes and snacks to help you grow your glutes, grow your muscles, and let me know if you have some of your favorites as well in the comments down below. I know I literally just said I wasn't going to mention this, but I decided to eat it right now anyways, so I'm not going to not mention it. Turkey breast. In one single serving of this, which is 2 ounces of turkey, there are 13 grams of protein. That's awesome! Now, I know a lot of people don't like turkey breast, maybe you don't like cold meats in general, but honestly, I've always liked turkey. If I get a sandwich, for example, I'll always pick turkey first, maybe salami. I like doing cute little easy snacks like this. I've got rice cake with avocado, arugula, tomato seasoning, deliciousness, and then I'll just kind of eat this turkey on the side. I could put it on top of the rice cakes, but I don't like the way it blends. Other fun options to add the turkey to, of course, you can make yourself a little sandwich. You could add it with some cheese. One slice of this cheese also has 8 grams of protein. You could eat it with nuts. This is my favorite pack. I always buy this from Costco. And I'd show you my last option, which would be pretzels, but I literally ate that snack last night because I really wanted it and I forgot to plan ahead for this video. So call me pretzel obsessed. I'm very sorry. Another item to mention, because I know I will get suggested to eat it, is tofu. I'm a big lover of tofu. In fact, I've even made Keith a big lover of tofu. I like all 3 of these, although it does kind of counteract the one rule of this video, which is if you're too lazy to cook, then we resort to these other things. The first route is eat your whole foods. Get in all your nutrients when you have the time and you're not too lazy to cook. The second route is what we're dealing with today. We got the lazy snacks, the lazy supplements. I feel like I always talk about my obsession with protein coffee, but I genuinely have never found something that I actually like so stinking much. I started doing this really because I've never been like the biggest fan of a lot of creamers or milks in my coffee. I like most of my drinks to be extra, extra hot. Like if I go to Starbucks, I order my coffee extra, extra hot. So before I had anything that could kind of like froth my milk, I would hate putting cold milk in my hot coffee because then it would make it this weird lukewarm temperature and it really bothered me. So I was trying to find different things that could still add good taste, good flavor to my black coffee. All I do is I put my Nespresso pot in, I make my coffee, I put in my scoop, and I stir it with my straw. That's literally it. But this particular brand just doesn't really clump. So you never have to worry about that kind of like gross, clumpy feeling that sometimes protein gets in drinks. I will say the one thing that I've kind of realized about this brand, or at least this version in particular, is that there's only 5 grams of protein in one single scoop, which is really not that much. You could obviously do 2 scoops, but my coffee cup's only so big. Honestly though, I feel like it's worth the taste because this makes my coffee just taste like hot, delicious coffee hot chocolate. This is another brand that I just happen to have. This one's not bad. It doesn't taste great. I've heard great things about Vega. I've also tried that myself. Vega, whatever. But if you feel like you've cracked the code on your favorite protein coffee, let me know in the comments, because I'm very interested in trying something else, especially that has at least something, maybe like 20 grams of protein. If protein coffee is just not something that you could even stomach, if the idea just sounds totally horrible to you, I would recommend maybe looking into collagen. I know a lot of people who like that, especially if you get ones that are flavorless. You can whisk them into your coffee. Same thing with the protein. If you don't want to use the straw, you can use a whisk. And then if you want to kind of carry on with your normal creamer, milk, syrups, whatever, you can also add in that collagen and it's going to taste pretty dang plain. I'm pretty sensitive to that kind of stuff. Like, I'm a weirdo who thinks I can taste color dye and things, because you can. I will take that to my grave. One, I'm a pretty firm believer in acknowledging that you want fun toppings as well. This is not just about protein, but also another firm believer in making sure that the protein that you're using isn't gross. But some of them just aren't very good. And I've had to do like a big trial and error process, figuring out ones I will never ever buy again, and that will sincerely make or break the taste of whatever you're putting it in. But I think I was stuck in this mentality for a very long time that the whole idea of putting protein in anything was gross. But one, I had never tried it. I was just thinking about the idea and I thought it was nasty. But then also two, the protein I was using was nasty itself. So I had to experiment. Now, I don't really consider myself too picky of an eater, although the entire basis of this video feels like it's surrounded by my idea that I won't really eat much meat. That's besides the point. I'm really not that bad. However, there are two things that are very high in protein I'd love to mention because they're important, but I myself do not like either of them. Cottage cheese and canned fish. Most likely tuna of some sort. Both are fantastic. Great sources of protein. It's where I draw the line. You know, there's some days I'm out here like, I'm gonna be Mrs. Fitness, the fittest girl in town. And then I'll see a recommendation to eat more cottage cheese and I'm out. I'm done. I'm fleeing the city. However, if you like both of those things, I highly recommend them. I think they're great. I think you're great. And there's nothing wrong with me not liking something and you liking it. I actually feel like that's the best way to make friends. It's the olive theory. If you're familiar with How I Met Your Mother, one person likes olives, the other person doesn't like olives, and it's actually perfect because that means that you're both happy. We're venturing into the pantry, which is kind of a dangerous territory. I feel very vulnerable showing you my pantry, but we also have some of my all-time favorite snacks, foods, etc. This right here is my beautiful collection of Magic Spoon. I'm a huge fan of Magic Spoon. I'm a huge fan of cereal in general. This video is not sponsored. I actually used my code to purchase all of those myself because I love it so stinking much. If you want a delicious protein-filled snack, 14 grams of protein in one single serving, plus if you're going to add milk, especially if it's dairy milk, that's more protein, or if you're going to have soy milk, coconut, almond, whatever, you get a bit of protein in there too, but it's just a darn good, delicious snack. Flavor recommendations, this one right now I think is seasonal. This is maple waffle. Peanut butter I think is fantastic, and cocoa, spectacular. Spooktacular. Although since it's the holiday season, should we say mistletoe-tacular? I can't think of anything right now. I was totally going to record myself, you know, doing a few cute bites, and then I just got so hungry and I ate the whole thing and I totally forgot to film it. No excuses. Maybe a debate for the comment section. Do you drink your cereal milk? Very important question. First up, my hemp hearts. I think I sprinkle this on pretty much everything. I put it on salads, I put it on my yogurt, I put it on my oatmeal. Obviously it's a seed, so it's gonna have a little bit of that nutty flavor, but personally I feel like it's kind of tasteless. So if I just need a little bit more protein in my day, easy peasy lemon squeezy. 3 tablespoons of this has 10 grams of protein, stacked full of vitamins. This is like my little hack section, you know, it's like little, very, very little effort. Beforehand, we were lazy. Now we're going no effort whatsoever. Next would be nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast, I feel like, can be a little delicate. Like, it's a very strong flavor, and if you don't like it, then leave.
This is my outfit for today, and if you don't like it, you could leave.
No, I just feel like you should test it out before you dump it all over your plate. For me, this is like the ultimate addition to cheese, let's say. I can't do a whole video on protein and not mention protein pancakes. This one I think is pretty stinking delicious. This is from Trader Joe's. It's just plain buttermilk. 1/3 serving makes 10 grams of protein. Normally when I do this, I do 2 servings, which is 20 stinking grams of protein. Fan-freaking-tastic. Then of course we also have Kodiak. This was kind of like a silly mistake. I purchased the Costco size, which of course I'll eat it eventually, but I was having a pancake moment. I was making pancakes like every other day. Kodiak has 14 grams of protein in 1/2 cup. I've seen some people hate on Kodiak because it does have sugar as one of the top ingredients. However, as I just saw an RDN say on TikTok, if you're going to eat some pancakes, you probably want the sugar in them to make them actually taste like pancakes. I love her so much. I think she's awesome. She's always debunking misinformation. My favorite way to eat these is with some sort of nut butter, maybe my broma, frozen berries maybe, or some hemp seeds. Sprinkle those all over the top. Double the protein, packing it in. I think these pants look like too similar to how pale I am right now. Not fantastic, but I'm in the middle of working right now, and this is usually when I take like my little, I'd say mini snack break, or maybe I'm just gonna want something to snack on when I'm working. So that's when I go to my protein bars. This is not an innovative idea, maybe just a friendly reminder that protein bars aren't a bad thing. However, I do feel like you should not rely on them. And I say that because, especially in college, I just didn't have time to make meals all of the time, and I would just have protein bars. It was horrible, and my body was probably craving real meals, things that are actually going to nourish me, take care of me, give me vitamins, minerals, all of the good stuff. But if you just need your little snack, something that's gonna kind of pick you up in the middle of your day, I got you. I've said that Bear Bells are some of my absolute favorite protein bars, and really it's because the taste is just phenomenal. Each bar is about 20 grams of protein, but of course there are so many brands that have great ingredients that you should try. Maybe you have certain sensitivities to look out for, gluten, whey, dairy, etc. If you're curious, maybe I should do an updated version, but I do have a video that is a whole tier list of me ranking pretty much every protein bar I could find at the top 5 closest grocery stores to me. And this was before I discovered Bear Bells, but I think that list still stands strong in my heart. When it comes down to it though, I'm all about the taste of protein bars. Even if it is the best thing in the world for me, but it tastes like poop, I can't do it. I can't do it. One of my next personal favorites involves the Greek yogurt, frozen mango chunks, and of course, our mixed frozen berry blend. This is the best. This is from Costco. I buy this religiously. And then of course we cannot forget our hemp hearts. And hear me out, okay? No hate, no hate. We're gonna add in some protein powder. I'm gonna argue this might be one of my weirder ones, but I've been doing it for quite some time. You might not like it, I'm telling you now, but I think it's pretty delicious, especially when you blend it very well. I take as much Greek yogurt as I want, which is usually a lot. Like I eat a lot of Greek yogurt all at once. Greek yogurt, it's the weirdest thing. It's the only dairy product that doesn't really bother me. So normally I like to get the plain dairy version, whatever, because it normally will have, like this one for example, 18 grams in every single serving. And personally, I feel like it is very hard to find non-dairy brands that have a similar consistency, a good taste, or even more than like 2 grams of protein. This is the last of it right here. I wasn't gonna leave just a small amount, so this is probably more than normal, but I'm gonna love it. Then we mix in our protein. It can get a little bit messy, so I do recommend probably a bigger bowl than I'm going to be using, but you just stir it in like a little baking recipe. I'm so gentle with it because I don't want it to spill. I hate making a mess when I'm trying to make food. I know it's very inevitable, but it bothers me. Now, you basically want to keep stirring till it kind of looks like this. Obviously I'm using chocolate protein, but you blend it all together till it's pretty dang delicious. Now, if this still does not seem enticing to you, I promise that it is, but let's just say you don't like that, add in some cinnamon, maybe some brown sugar, maybe like nutmeg if you want something a little stronger, you know, kind of spice it up, quite literally, to make it a little bit more tasty. Now I make it delicious with all my toppings. We've got our frozen mangoes. I probably poured at least 1.5 cups of those frozen berries, and then these are the hemp seeds. That's probably at least 3 tablespoons right there. So, stacked full of protein in this thing. We're looking at something between like 45 and 50 grams of protein just in this little bowl. It's just so simple, quick, easy. That's why I love things like oatmeal, yogurt, because you don't have to actually think about what you're going to eat. You throw it into a bowl. Maybe you mix in some protein. You add your nice little toppings and you're done and dusted. Plus, like I said, it's scrum diddly umptious. Those are some of my current favorite obsessions in the protein department. Trying to grow some muscle, trying to grow my glutes. Kind of a weird video concept, but hopefully it was helpful in some way. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Wanted to let you know I've made so much progress on my office if you see my last video, so that's exciting. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Merry almost Christmas!